What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good this evening. Welcome to A-Town Gaming. This is A-Town, the Dissatisfied Gamer here, and today we are going to address a tweet from IGN, the great IGN, and they made a tweet, so we are going to read it here. The tweet should be on screen right now. Assassin's Creed Mirage's map size will be close to Unity's Paris or Revelation's Constantinople. I have to say, as soon as I read this tweet, I said, I gotta do this as a video idea. This is incredible news. I saw the trailer, I would say a month back, and I was immediately just taken by it. It looked like Revelations. It felt like Revelations. The mechanics from the old Assassin's Creeds, like when you're running and you can grab the rope and you shoot up, and just the environment felt really good. And now that I read this tweet, knowing what the map's going to be like and not just what the game looks like I'm getting more details, or we're getting more details, I have much higher hopes for this game now. And the fact that it's like Revelations, bro, like people have no idea how great Revelations is, and I'm torn of which one I want it to be like, but either one is fine. I would think Constantinople, really, because of how Bassam looks. I think it would fit him. It would fit it better. But yeah, I hope it's more like that. I hope we get more like close quarter maps, things like that. Unity's Paris was nice, but I think that a map like Constantinople will be a better fit for for Mirage, just due to what the trailer was. So I think that the more close quarter buildings would be a better fit. So a few points that I have here, but of course I always have my points. So they need to not bait and switch us. They say that it's going to focus on more stealth and less RPG elements, which again is what the hell this franchise needed, a much needed revive, because right now Assassin's Creed's dead. It is a ghost, but it'll be revived here in October. They need to not say that it's like this and then we end up having to do a bunch of non-stealth stuff. I hope that this isn't just a ploy for them to get our money. I hope that they're actually sincere and they follow through with their claim, along with what the tweet said as well. I hope that the map is more close quarter and it's not like the RPG games felt. Again, it has to do a lot with the environment and things like that. They get close as realism as possible with the time frame and when it takes place, but I just hope that they stay true to their word and they don't bait and switch, because that's not good, considering that Valhalla got so much pushback and so much hate, and it was the third time now that they did that RPG shit and people were sick of it after Odyssey, and you still had the nerve to do it anyway, and your franchise suffered for it in the end. So a bait and switch is something that I hope that doesn't happen. And the next point is RPG just does not belong in Assassin's Creed. In my opinion, I think that they should have just left it at Odyssey. Odyssey was pushing it. It was very much pushing it. The two-character touch was nice in Odyssey. I thought that was really cool. I like both. I like the single character. You get a little more depth because they're only focusing on writing for one character instead of two. I found that the writing was it was good in Odyssey, but it lacked compared to Origins, where they wrote for one character and were able to get more in-depth with him than it was in Odyssey, where you had two characters. You had to focus on Cassandra, you had to focus on Alexios, you had to make sure that both of them played off each other well. It was a clusterfuck. Let's just be honest here. But the RPG elements itself, just getting the gear and all that stuff, I mean, I hope they go back to the classic where you get upgrades for your health and all of that, but you can still get fucked up by like the normal enemies if you just keep standing there and getting hit. Obviously, progression, things like that. If you go into higher level areas, I want the game to dictate the game to dictate like what armor pieces I needed, or if it just says, or if you do missions to unlock pieces. So like a couple little side quests here, maybe you have to upgrade your hangout, things like that. But I hope it's not just go in at your own risk type deal, which I found Valhalla wasn't terrible with that. I mean, I shit on that game a lot, as it should be shat on, but there was a better way to play it, and it was the single button assassination, which makes the game an Assassin's Creed game. It's not just a Viking RPG. Yet I was called trash when I did that, and I needed to get better at the game, but I was like, what the fuck? This isn't an Assassin's Creed game. I want an Assassin's Creed game, so I'm going to do single button assassination. Like, it's whatever. But yeah, get rid of the RPG shit. I don't want to have to hunt for gear just to progress in the story. That's ridiculous. And it's overdone. Every game is a fucking open world game these days, so we need to get away. And not even just necessarily open world. That's not necessarily my problem. It's that you need to just gear hunt all the time. Just gear hunt, gear hunt, gear hunt. It's like I want a good story though. I don't really care about gear and all that stuff. So that's just me. So back to the Roots claim that they made, where they want to be more stealth based. They have to hit home with it. They can't just say that it's what it is and not deliver on it. I mean, you guys did it before. It's not hard to do. You just have to go back to your previous games and go off of that. You barely have to work. In all honesty, like, you barely have to do anything new. You just have to go back to the formula that we all love. You're going to get the people who hated Valhalla and the RPG games back into the series. You're probably going to lose some people. That's okay, though. You're going to have more people come back than you are going to lose, including me, because if this game was just another RPG fest, Assassin's Creed would still be dead to me. So, yeah, just back to the roots. Make sure that you come through with what you say, and everything will work out for you. Better story. So, characters such as like Ezio, Edward, Elise from Unity, Arno's love interest, Evie and Jacob, the twins from Syndicate. Those characters were great. Now, Ezio, he is a staple of the Assassin's Creed franchise. He is arguably the best character. I liked Edward a lot. I actually liked Arno, and I didn't mind Connor. A lot of people hate Connor because he was like too quiet. He didn't really have personality, but I kind of liked all the protagonists, but of course we all have our favorites. But Elise was great. She was a very good protagonist along with Arno. It's always good to have a nice supporting character. And then Evie and Jacob complemented each other well. I really liked Syndicate's gameplay style. Like some missions you had to do with Jacob, some you had to do with Evie. I liked most of them were Jacob, the missions were. So I just did a lot of the open world exploration with Evie, and then I just did all the missions with Jacob. That way it felt more equal. So they probably won't. I don't think they're going to do the dual character thing like this, but if they do, I'm just going to play the same way like I did. But characters, especially like Ezio, where he's just so crucial to the story, and Basim as well, like the character that's in the Animus section of the game, I think that character is important too, so you have to kind of have both. You can't just focus on the in-game character and then not really focus on the Animus, and then vice versa. So as long as you have really good characters and a good story to complement the character, and a good character to complement the story, I think that the shit's going to be real solid. And Basim looks great. Like, I hated Valhalla so much, like I didn't really pay attention to him, but he's the new guy that's taken over, so I hope we get 3 more games with him now that he's the assassin, and it's not Layla, which I'm pretty sure she was in Origins, and then she did Odyssey, and then she did Valhalla. So I'm hoping that this is a new takeover. It's basically like a refresh, sort of like Desmond. Basim kind of reminds me of Brotherhood Ezio. So yeah, just a better story, and we'll be good from there. A shorter story too, so leave us wanting more. Don't be too short where we feel like something's missing, but don't be too long either. Like, don't be so long that we just want the game to end and the shit just stops making sense at some point. Like, we're just sitting here like, oh my god, we have to do this, oh, we have to do that. Just things like that. A shorter story, a nice condensed story where just say the credits pop up at the end and we're like, what the hell just happened? Like things where we want a sequel, like it's a famous showbiz term, like leave the fans wanting more. You want to end on a high note so then people sit there and they say, what's going to happen now? Sort of like The Last of Us 1. Many games have done this, and you just immediately, like, there was only a few games, but that as soon as they end, I'm just like, I can't wait for the sequel. Only a few, but it happens. It's like, you want a sequel to happen instantly. You don't want to sit there and say, I wonder what's going to happen. You want to say, I can't wait. So, you want us to be eaten out of the palm of your hand as soon as the game ends. You've done it before, like I said, and you guys can do it again. Ubisoft is famous for basically coming back from the dead. They're famous for just revitalizing themselves. It happened with Assassin's Creed 1, it happened with Watch Dogs, and it happened with Ghost Recon. A lot of people didn't really like Breakpoint. I loved Breakpoint, and I liked Wildlands, but Breakpoint is a bigger step up than Wildlands. Watch Dogs 2 is night and day compared to Watch Dogs 1, and Assassin's Creed 2 ended up skyrocketing the series from then to now, or from then to Valhalla, and then now I think that they're going to revitalize it again, just going back to their roots. So just a shorter story will give us that. Again, you want us to be thinking to ourselves what the hell is going to be happening, and you don't want us to want the game to end because we're bored. The combat system, I think, needs to be similar to Revelations or the Batman games, I would say. It doesn't have to be so damn complicated. You should just be able to string together attacks. Again, that wasn't even the thing. It's not even like, oh, the game's too easy and things like that. It's just like, I never focused on that ever when I played it, and I bet a lot of people didn't either. It's just like, we don't care that we're just beasting these enemies. We care that it's fun. The story's great. We still have difficulties. Like, the difficulty's still there. You can still get fucked up. Like, it takes quite a bit to actually, like, get really good at Assassin's Creed games. Like, when you first play Assassin's Creed 2, you're gonna die a lot. Like, because there's so much stuff, like, that you learn how to do. Like, you learn how to parkour up buildings. You learn how to run up a building and then jump across the wall. Like, there's actual mechanics that you have to string together to get better at just traversing the map. So the combat system is just icing on the cake. It just makes it just feels so smooth when you get like a 12 kill sequence going on, and it just puts a smile on your face, man. It's a difficulty factor doesn't even come about at that point. You're just like, wow, I just got like a 15 kill streak, and it just looks awesome. He just goes 1 2 3 4. So a fun factor, put that in where it's nothing too frustrating. Everybody can just pick up and play it, and you'll appease to the casuals and the diehards that already know that fighting system from the past. So, climbing towers need to stay put. Other content as well, such as upgrading Assassin, the gear, and have an ultimate outfit. Can we bring back the ultimate outfit? Something that gives us something to do. Like, those are side missions that we want to do. That's the side content that I'm talking about, where we can make our guy look awesome. We can upgrade our assassins, like in Brotherhood, and then Revelations, where you can upgrade your hideout. Brotherhood, you can level up your assassins to be amazingly strong. Just things like that make us have to play through the story and do these quests to unlock more armor items. None of this, we have to go around this big open fucking world and open up chests or some shit. Like, I would rather have a side quest that we get rewards for. That way they don't feel empty and they don't feel useless. I would rather unlock armor pieces doing side quests than I actually want to do them. You know what I mean? So I think that they shouldn't do that. And a lot of people complained about towers, and they wanted the towers. I remember before Valhalla came out, people wanted the towers removed. And I said, what the hell's wrong with you? What the hell's wrong with people? Towers have been a staple in the Assassin's Creed franchise since the first one. So why would they remove the towers? It's one of the coolest parts of the game. It really is. It's like Ubisoft is, they did it with Far Cry. Like, you climb the towers. And it's like some of the funnest shit in the game. Like, that's, again, side content that matters. Side content that we want to do. Like every time I see that little bird on the mini map, I want to climb that tower. Like it's something that I want to do. And if you put something in the game that we want to do, then we're going to always have fun. Like I mentioned with the combat earlier, like if we're sitting there and we're just beasting guys and we're just waiting for them to hit us so we can do our counters because we perfected it, we're having fun. Difficulty should never enter the conversation. Like we don't give a fuck if the game's hard or not. And that's another thing too. A point that I didn't put in, but I'm going to add it anyway. There should be no fucking difficulty system. Just be like it is. You just play the game, you start it, and it's just a standardized difficulty. It should just go by area. Like if you're climbing up the ranks and all that, or it should just go on based what your health is, what your armor is, your gear, etc. If the game knows that you have some really good gear, then maybe we'll increase the enemy's health bar. But none of this shit where this area is level 20 and this area is level 30 or 50. Like I have a feeling they're going to incorporate RPG elements into it like that, and I really hope that that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case, but I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to happen, but if they just stick to the upgrading gear like the old days, and then give us the side quests where we have to go through these temples and things like that, where we had to go through like these assassin areas, and I think it was Brotherhood, to unlock the ultimate outfit. Those need to come back. You put, again, side content in the game that we want to do, and we'll be all for it. So that was my thoughts on IGN's tweet, and just my thought on Mirage as a whole. After seeing the trailer and then seeing this tweet, I have really high hopes for it, and I'm pretty sure it comes out a day before my birthday. So you guys already know I'm probably going to be doing gameplay on it, so we're going to see. And the fact that I'm probably going to have my PS5 by then is going to look amazing. So I'm excited for that. So guys, hit the like button if you guys liked the video. Hit the subscribe if you liked the video also. You guys already know we like to keep it all the way G. This is A-Town the Dissatisfied Gamer, signing off. Thanks, guys.